The secret love of Aiman and Wasil Haripur was calm in a way that made emotions louder. The hills stood quietly around the University of Haripur, watching students arrive every morning with books, dreams, and unspoken fears. For Aiman Khan, this university was not just a place of study, it was a boundary. A boundary between what she felt and what she was allowed to feel. Aiman was known as a serious, disciplined student. She dressed simply, spoke politely, and never stayed where attention lingered too long. She believed that respect was fragile, especially for girls. So she guarded herself carefully, hiding her softness behind silence. Everything stayed predictable until Wasil Gruber joined her class. Wasil was an exchange student from Austria, half Pakistani, half Austrian. He spoke Urdu with a gentle accent and carried himself with a calm confidence that made people curious. Unlike others, he didn't try to impress. He observed. He listened. And somehow, without effort, he stood out. Aiman noticed him on the first day but quickly looked away. She didn't want to notice him. Foreign students came and left. Feelings were temporary. Consequences were not. But Wasil noticed her too. Not because she was loud or bold, but because she wasn't. She asked thoughtful questions, took notes seriously, and listened like the world mattered. In a classroom full of noise, she felt like silence with meaning. They didn't speak at first. Weeks passed with only stolen glances and quiet awareness. Sometimes their eyes met for a second too long. Sometimes they both looked away at the same time. Nothing happened, but everything felt close. Then came the research project. Their professor announced pairs randomly, and when Aiman heard her name followed by Wasil's, her heart skipped in fear, not excitement. This was dangerous. Their meetings were formal at first, library tables, notebooks open, space carefully maintained. Wasil was respectful, never crossing limits. That made it harder, not easier. They discussed literature, culture, identity. Slowly, conversations grew deeper. "One year here," Wasil once said softly, "and I feel more divided than ever." Aiman looked up. "Divided how?" "I belong everywhere," he smiled faintly, "and nowhere." She understood more than she admitted. With time, comfort replaced awkwardness. Laughter slipped out unintentionally. Silence no longer felt heavy. They never touched, never flirted. But something unspoken grew between them stronger because it had no name. Aiman fought it daily. She reminded herself of society, family, and endings. She reminded herself that Wasil would leave. Austria would call him back. Haripur would never let him stay. Wasil fought too. He knew what it meant to care in a place where caring had rules. He respected her distance even when it hurt. Sometimes he wanted to say everything. Sometimes he said nothing at all. Rumors started, as they always do. Nothing clear. Just looks, whispers, assumptions. Aiman felt the pressure instantly. She began leaving early, sitting farther away, keeping answers short. Wasil noticed the shift, and it unsettled him more than gossip ever could. One evening, rain fell unexpectedly as they exited the library. "Aiman," Wasil said gently, stopping her. "Did I do something wrong?" She shook her head. "No." "Then, why does it feel like you're disappearing?" Her voice trembled. "Because I have to." Silence stood between them, heavy with things unsaid. "I leave for Austria in a few months," Wasil said quietly. "I won't bring trouble into your life." Aiman finally looked at him, eyes shining with unshed tears. "And what about your heart?" He smiled sadly. "Some hearts are trained to carry weight." That night, both of them accepted the truth. They were in love, and it would remain secret. The remaining months passed painfully fast. They continued their project, but something had changed. Every conversation felt like a goodbye. Every shared smile felt borrowed. On his last day at university, Wasil met Aiman in the courtyard. No one noticed them. No one needed to. He handed her a book, poetry translated into Urdu. "Read page 47, he said. She nodded, unable to speak. "I never said what I felt," he added. "But I think you already know." She held the book tightly. Some things don't need to be said. He smiled, soft, grateful, broken. The next morning, Wasil left for Austria. No messages, no promises, only memory. Years passed. Aiman became a lecturer at the same university. Stronger, calmer, still quietly emotional. Sometimes, when winter arrived, she thought of Vienna without ever seeing it. One evening, she opened her email. Subject: still quiet. The message was simple. I never forgot Haripur. Or you. Some loves don't fade. They just learn silence. Aiman closed her eyes and smiled through tears. Their love never belonged to the world, but it belonged to them. And that was enough.